Well, it's 26 minutes past 6. Weather time. Ruth is here. How's it looking?
Dull, dreary, grey. You know, the kind of, yeah, what can I say? No, but you know, the weather's just been kind of like meh, hasn't it? And the weather we had yesterday is the weather we had today, and is the weather that we're going to have tomorrow. So I think you get the picture. Yeah, it is. Well, by my reckoning, about another week or so before we start meteorological winter. But it certainly feels pretty autumnal out there. The temperatures are all very neither here nor there, but falling by night. There is, however, a slight change on the cards. So high pressure bringing largely settled weather. But as we head through the next few days, you'll notice this lovely blue line, this cold front, that will start to show its hand. That will sink across us during the course of Thursday night and into Friday. Now then, it's not going to bring much in terms of rainfall. In fact, I don't think you'll notice any rainfall at all. But what it is going to do is introduce a colder airflow. So cold air will start to seep its way in from the Arctic. And yes, that means that temperatures by the time we get to the end of the week and actually into the start of the coming weekend are really going to struggle. We are certainly going to feel the chill. Here we go then, in a little more detail. Yeah, we haven't had any proper frosts for a while, so get the heating on, Mr. Hill. Know what you like.
Crank it up. I will indeed. The family.
Well, it's not particularly exciting weather out there at the moment. It's all very dull and dreary. The weather we've had today remaining very much the case over the next few hours, the next few days, in fact, little change. So the low-lying cloud, the misty, murky conditions that have persisted will linger through much of tonight. The cloud over the hills and mountains in particular could well bring a few spots of patchy drizzle, but nothing that you're going to notice too much. The winds will remain brisk at times, and this combination moves the air around. So it does actually mean that temperature-wise, we're almost 11 degrees milder tonight than we were this time last night. That's quite a significant rise. So we're looking at lows of around 10 or 11 degrees. Not a particularly pleasant start to tomorrow morning, I think we can cheerfully say. In fact, not very cheerful at all. That mist and murk will persist. That low cloud will linger as well. So sunshine in rather short supply, much like today, although there is the chance actually that as we head into the afternoon, we could see that cloud starting to break up, but it's going to be a case of catch that sunshine if you can. And again, I think the cloud will remain thick enough over the hills and mountains for further patchy drizzle. Breezy in places, but it's still a relatively mild airflow. So the temperatures tomorrow, much like today, topping out at around 12 or 13 degrees. But it's later into Thursday afternoon, early evening, that a cold front will start to show its hand. So we're not talking about too much in terms of rainfall, but what we are talking about is, well, the clue's somewhat in the title, cold air starting to stream its way in. So as that frontal system, that patchy drizzle clears through Thursday night and into Friday, the legacy tucking in behind it, if you look closer, you can see these arrows, a northerly airflow, cold air coming in, and that means Friday night into Saturday is going to be particularly cold and frosty. Hello there. Well, the weather is all pretty dreary out there this afternoon. It is generally dry. That's the positive side. Maybe just a few spots of drizzle over Snowdonia, Orrery, but there's an awful lot of low-lying cloud, misty, murky conditions over the highest hills and mountains too, with a bit of a breeze developing. But temperatures are still slightly above the average for the time of year, despite all of this, highs of around 13 in Celsius. And speaking of temperature, a much milder night in prospect tonight because of that cloud, that mist, that fog and that breeze developing. The temperature's not really going to drop away much below daytime value, setting us up for another misty, murky and showery start to tomorrow morning. I'll see you later. Hello there. All very dull and dreary on the weather front out there today. Low-lying cloud, misty, murky conditions with a little bit of a breeze developing. Temperatures remaining generally mild, highs of 12 or 13 in Celsius. But there is a frontal system that's going to bring some patchy rain and drizzle later on.